Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on a few more pages for the photograph album that I'm making, which is a photograph journal. I had some 12 by 12s, a couple of them here, that were cut down to a 8.5 by 11 size, so they will fit right in with the rest of the pages. The back side is white, which we're going to decorate in a style that's called Antiquerian. It's an Antiquerian page that Ceri the Crafter came up with several years back, and I really like it. It's a different kind of way to fill out a page with stamping mostly, but I'm going to actually incorporate some old slides that I've got here. I've got also some painted black, like a Polaroid kind of an outline. It's like a piece of wood, and I painted about 6 of them in a black acrylic. We also have the stamping, which I'll be doing, is probably some of this stamping here in this script. I think it'll be a nice background, and the whole purpose of it is to leave like several blank spaces on there. You rip out some paper and like lay it on there, and you do your stamping, and where the paper lays, you take that off and you'll put like a focal there. Well, I'm contemplating doing something with a few of these pieces, maybe the smaller one here and maybe the partial film strip there. I don't know. That's what I'm planning. And then I had another piece here that was from some paper that I bought from Tommy, Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. But I thought it was sort of I think it's from Stamping Up, by the way. But I thought it looked like, you know how you have some of those negatives or old pictures and stuff, and they got sort of that splotchy look to them. I thought maybe that could work. it might make it look right. Now, I have had these for years. Prismatic Alpha Punch-Outs by Color Block. And they're in all these different colors. And it just happens that this silver one has those same starburst, almost like a flash is what I'm going for, in the background here. Now, what I did is I punched out photograph up here, as you can see. Some of it's uppercase, some of it's lowercase. I had to just use whatever I had left because I'd already used some of these. So that's what I've got there. And so let me kind of set a few of these things to the side, and I'll do the sneaky peek. Okay, the sneaky peek today is going to be a look through of these 3 little paper bag journals that I made. I cut out some stuff from magazines. I think I had showed you that a while back, where I cleared out all the Birds and Blooms magazines and cut out things that I might need. I also had a pad that I got for $5 at Michael's that had these butterfly kind of images and some with words. So I got those to put in here. This was from the magazine. I just put it on like a background. I picked out papers that might go with like a nature theme. So, and then this was, yeah, this was one of those stamps I made a little bit back. This is a pretty moth. So, and look at this little frog. Isn't he cute? He's down inside of that calla lily. I always thought that was kind of cool. And so I just have a bunch of different little animals in here. And I thought that would be cute. I love this one too. It's got such a burst of color. And then we have the All Good Things Are Wild for the cover for this one. And I got a ladybug there, some mushrooms. And I just kind of figured out, and I did some fussy cutting on quite a few of them. This one had something on the back. So I was cutting it out to put that on here, and then I realized this dragonfly was on here, so I chose that instead. I really liked the jewel colors that he's got. And this is a moonflower. My mom has these, and they bloom at night, and sometimes she has 4, 5, or 6 of them on here. And they're really, really beautiful, and they have a smell that'll draw all kinds of insects and things. I love this bird, so he got to go on the front. And I think this one's all birds. I just had this little scrap, so I stuck that in there for something to be written on. Love the turtle. And this bird here, I think he's a bunting. He's on sunflower. I just kind of picked all kinds of different birds just so a bird lover might see this. And I cut the one out where she's looking at him. And then I think I got this from Wayne. So thank you, Wayne. I used that in here. Okay, that was all of our sneaky peek. Those are to go to the shop. All right, and this piece here just folds in half. I don't really have any specific anything that's going to happen with it. So we're just going to fold it in half and put it with the rest of the pages. And then these two are also, I'm going to fold them just so I know where the fold is going to be at. And then we're going to start stamping them. I want to thank everyone for coming to visit and to see what's going on today. I've been a little busy lately. That's why you haven't seen me. Good grief, there's always something going on. All right, so my in-laws didn't get a chance to come down for Easter because my husband was working. So we basically had their Easter here at my house on Saturday. And so I've been doing lots of cleaning. And I had to do cooking the last like 3 days there. So I've been busy. And then yesterday and today I had doctor's appointments. Yesterday I had to get like 3 was it small cavities, he said they were, but I had to get 3 of those filled. And I'm digging around here looking for some paper. Okay, so I had to get those filled. And you know, that's just miserable. That was in the afternoon, so I didn't have a chance at all to do any kind of filming. And then we had I had a doctor's appointment today. Dr. Chernoff again. That's my regular, practitioner. But this was, I don't know, I guess a check to see if I had called about my the CPAP machine. I told you about the license a while back. Well, it seems like the thing with the license where I had to give a reason why, and he had to fill out this paperwork because I took gabapentin for my feet, because I guess it's considered a narcotic or a hard drug. I know I got to show my license when I buy it. But anyhow, it was this big rigmarole. I had to fill out, or have him fill out some paperwork after he saw me. And well, he saw me the other, week, about 3 weeks ago. But he was supposed to fill out the paperwork and send it in before May 8th to the DMV. Well, he hadn't sent it in. He wanted to see if I had called to get an appointment about my mask for the CPAP. And it's like, so I don't know. He's going to fax it in today, which this is the due date. So I don't know if I'm going to be driving illegally from here on out or what. So I was just disgusted, really, really disgusted. I said, "Oh, let us keep these drunk drivers on the road, definitely. But me, has a great driving record. Yeah, let's take my license." Oh, I stuck my finger. I'll cover that up. But yeah, it's just disgusting, whatever is happening. And this, I guess, is only Virginia, where I live. I don't believe there's anything happening in other states. I know Tommy has said she's not seen anything like that in Missouri. I know my buddy Zach has said there's nothing like that in Ohio. So I just don't know what's going on. It's just kind of unfair to me. And then he kept talking about the CPAP, and that's the reason. I said, I thought you'd already sent this in. And he said, no, I had to see if you had gotten an appointment about your mask for your CPAP. And I said, well, I've got an appointment, but I said I haven't gotten in there yet. So I don't know. I said, I guess I'll be driving illegally. I said, I'm the driver to take my mother places. I guess they don't care about that. Especially him. I don't know what he was doing. He says, oh, well, he says that I had to be able to tell them something on that paperwork. Tell them something. I said, I don't even understand why the CPAP situation is even, necessary. And he says, well, if you get drowsy or something. I said, I ain't never been drowsy in the daytime. I said, I've never been able to sleep in the daytime. I've been like that since a baby. And I said, I just, don't feel like it's fair. Don't feel like it's fair. Yeah, this is grumble time for Rhoda. All right, I want to get this little bit right here that I missed, but I don't want it to look like I'm overlapping a bunch of stuff. Okay, let's see what I can get right there. Good enough. All right, so that's kind of what you do. You rip out some shapes and you put them on here, and you've got this cool background. Now, these are not going to be side by side in my book, so they won't be seen. So I could actually go in the same spots as I did on this side, but I'll just keep it in this shape. But anyway, yeah. So I'm not in the best of happy moods today because of all that. Has anybody else had anything like that? I don't know. The gabapentin, he says, is what flagged it at the DMV, but the other stuff, I guess, is coming to light as well with the CPAP. It's like, good gosh. So all I know is it's not looking too good. I'm either going to have to buy me a moped, a horse, cheat. Who knows? Let's just say life doesn't seem to be fair. All right. Now I got to get on this other side. So I think I'm going to pull out this piece of paper and lay it here just so I don't overlap. But yes, how is everybody else doing? Is their life going pretty good? Yeah, things just aren't very fair, that's for sure. Especially for those people. He said, yeah, it's kind of bad when you answer truthfully and, that gets held against you. I said, isn't that the case? Yeah. Isn't that the truth? I haven't shown you any pictures or walkabouts with the pond lately. I have to get this piece for our pump that goes out there, so the waterfall hasn't been set up or anything. And my phlox didn't do all that great this year. It's like all white. That's the real pretty ground cover that's usually up there on the upper part of my bank. I don't know what happened. I have that white has taken over in the last few years. And I don't know. Usually that's the one that nobody else can grow. So who knows what's going on up my way. All right, I've got a second one here that I'm going to fold out and go ahead and do exactly like I did on the other one. And then I will be right back. Okay, so I've got a few things cut out. I have these film strip ones, and I did cut out a couple of the slide, I guess they are. But I don't know if I'm going to use that on this page. I'll probably use it on the other page, which will be done off screen. So what we're going to do now is to try to glue down these two Polaroid pieces. I'm going to use fabric tack just because this is a kind of a not exactly paper to paper situation here. So we're going to see how the fabric tack holds it, which it does a really good job. And filled my bottle up the other day, but it doesn't seem to have enough in it. All right. I wanted to go out today with Mom since this was officially the last day with my license for now until I figure it out. And anyhow, she had another thing she needed to do, but gosh, Mother's Day is just around the corner. I got to do her a I'm gonna put that right here. I got to do her a card. I always make her a homemade card every year. And so far, I hadn't even thought to do it. I guess I'll do the outside edge here because that's what's got to catch on the wood. So I got to think. I used to do something with us 4 kids, and that's kind of run its course with. I've been using the same old, same old. I mean, in our family, we had a few photos taken while we were young, but we didn't have that many. And so, you know, the ones that I might have for us 4 kids, because we had a little brother, and he didn't live to be 2 years old. So I always try to put little William in there. And then I've got my brother, and then me and my sister. So, you know, trying to fill up with the same old photos year after year, because you don't have that many, it kind of becomes humdrum. Now, this is something from the Dollar Tree, and I thought I could stick that on here somewhere as sort of like these photos were taken with this camera. Can't remember what I did with the other two. Now, over here, I've got the 2 film strips, and I'm going to put them on here kind of staggered a little bit. But I got a lot of gluing, it seems like I've got to do here. You get some of these neat dies, but sometimes, I could have rubbed a glue stick over this, but sometimes when you do that, it eats up that glue stick when you hit all these different little jaggy areas. So I don't like to do that. Where's that? It's right there. I'm trying to figure out where the fold is, so I can figure out how far across to go here. Yeah, that should do it. And then I need another one down here, and I'm going to flip it because it's the same die. And we're going to put it on there. Okay. Yeah, so far, with what I've been watching and everything, I always talk about movies. But I haven't really been watching TV at all anymore. I got something on my phone, and it's on actually YouTube, but it has to do with has these little half-hour kind of skit kind of things. I don't know what you would exactly call it, but it's narrated, so I can just sit and craft or sit and watch the out the window or whatever I feel like doing, and I can listen to that. And I like the ones about betrayal, how they get back at their spouses or boyfriends or whatever. I like that. I must have a cutthroat attitude or something. What I'm doing here is I'm taking those like glitter letters, and they're not going to actually go on there where, you know, all of them are in order to read it like a normal word, but they're going to be scattered down the page. So we're going to do it like that. So the photo is going to go across here. But yeah, I've listening and listening. They must be like, they take and give these writers a script, because there's two to three that I've noticed are kind of the same thing. I mean, they have the same basic layout kind of a deal. They'll either have, these people were married for 15 years and he starts cheating on her, and a few other things. They might have like a boy and a girl, children, stuff like that. So it's almost like the same scenario. It's, I don't want to read the same old, you know. Now this one little spot right here for the, I'm going to put a GR underneath here. So that's the best way I could think to do it. Kind of like framing the letters. So put G and then the R right on it. Yeah, so that's what's been entertaining me lately. I'm not much good at anything. I have started my exercise regimen and eating better, because I'd already lost like a pound since I saw the doctor a couple weeks back. So he had to admit that, but he did put me on metformin, so crap to that. At least that's better than that, what I've heard you all telling me about Ozempic. So I don't want to take something that, you know, it's going to be like Russian roulette, and I don't know what's going to happen to me when I take it. But I had taken metformin for 3 months. He kept saying, "Oh yeah, you took it for 3 months. What happened? Did you quit taking it?" I said, "No, you took me off of it." Like, he's looking at the notes and everything. And he said, "No, you quit it because you said it was making you lose your hair." I said, "No, I said the COVID, oh, I'm not supposed to say that word, the C shots were making me lose my hair." And I'd heard other people tell me that too. And so anyhow, he tried to tell me one thing. I'm like, you better read that again. But I said, yeah, you put me on it in November, got my stuff under control. I come back in March, and you told me to quit taking it. I swear, some doctors. Okay, I've got this little sticker, and I've cut all the white on the outside off of it. But you know me, I hate the white. So we'll see if we can get it started here, because it is a sticker. There. And I think I'm going to put it right here, because it's grounding it on that little bit of a line I've got there. Because this is sort of like a movie film strip kind of looking thing here, so that's why I wanted to use that. All right, I don't know where exactly I'm going to put this in my layout, so let me pull it over here. Because I've got this to put in here, and I've been trying to measure how many papers I can get in here. I'm only going for one signature, and I know these are going to add a little bit of chunk to it, no doubt. So, like, this is kind of gold in here. I mean, this might go really well right in this spot, right there. And then you always want to find something that's going to go with, like this black. That right there is not bad. So, well, I'm also going to have the other one in here in another spot. Now, there's a little film strip. But this is like an off-white. This is all white. It's going to have a little bit of a, you know, a different look to it. Now, that might not be too bad. If you haven't seen any of my pages, you're getting a chance to see a few. Now, this is almost in the center. So that other one is probably going to go back here toward the very front. Like I had looked at here a minute ago. Like right in here. This will probably be where I put it, because there's white on the back side of that. And that did add a little bit of extra thickness to it. So yeah, one more page is about all I'm going to be able to get in here. And then I'll sew it together. I'm probably going to do, like I said, a hidden signature for it. I don't know. I'm probably going to add maybe a few other things to it. But I'll surprise you with the flip through. So that will be all for today. I hope you enjoyed what you got to see and how I'm putting this together and all the little knickknacks that I'm using. So I want everybody to have a great, great day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.